You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
First of all, I'd like to thank Bill Guerin, Matt Hendricks, the entire Minnesota Wild organization for trusting me with this opportunity. My family and I are super excited to get going. A lot of work ahead in terms of preparing for the season, and we're embracing that. Super lucky to be a part of this organization again, having gone through here as a player as well. Obviously, there's a little bit of benefit of familiarity there. But we're really excited to, dig into the development and everything we have going down there in Iowa. So I'll open up to questions at this point, should you guys have any.
You're one of the rare guys who's played for the Chops and the Iowa Wild. What was it like going back to Des Moines, and what do you remember about being a player there?
Well, we're super excited. I have a lot of fond memories from playing there. Both stints playing there. So starting my career playing for the Iowa Chops when Anaheim was there, and then coming back later on, I believe it was in 14-15, if I'm not mistaken, that I was up and down between here and there. But a lot of really good memories from Iowa. Fortunate as well that my wife loves the Midwest. She's a California girl, but she's dug right into the cross-country skiing and everything that comes with the Midwest. So from a family perspective, we're super excited to get going. And like I said, a lot of fond memories from the area.
How did this opportunity come about for you? Like, were you looking for head coaching jobs as you were in Coachella for a while, or something where it kind of caught you by surprise when they reached out, or kind of how it was?
For me, more probably looking at, I think the timing is right, but the fit for me is the biggest thing. When I look at this organization top to bottom, people in different areas that I've got to know over the years, obviously with being in Minnesota quite often, every offseason we've been back. And so I've got to know a lot of the people in the organization, and I know that they're great people. I know that they want to win, and I see the trajectory of that going in the right direction. That's what makes it ultimately super attractive for me.
What do you make of the team that you're inheriting and just some of the young prospects that'll probably be under your guidance next year?
I like the team. I see no reason why we can't compete in Des Moines and bring playoff hockey back to Des Moines. That's going to be one of our goals going forward. And, it starts with our process, and I think we have to be patient with that process. But I am super excited about a lot of the young prospects that we have coming in, and some of the guys who have been down in Iowa who I think can take a step with their game. So a lot of different factors that go into it, but again, just can't explain enough how excited we are to get after it.
You've coached under some pretty significant names, whether Motzko, Bilesma. Who are some of the guys that are going to influence your coaching style?
All the above, right? When you look at Derek Laxdal, Drew Bannister, guys I've had the pleasure of working with, I think there are things you can take from every coach, right, in your process and your workflow. Looking at how they conduct themselves in those situations, it's been a great opportunity for me to learn and to get me ready for this opportunity. So, big thanks to them as well. There are still a lot of coaches that are, I played for in the past. I was just talking with Dan Bilesma the other day, so guys I worked with as well that continue to help me. And so I have a lot of great people around me in my own circle, but now I'm excited to add this to my circle as well and work with these tremendous people.
How would you describe your coaching style?
My coaching style, I want to have a focus on development, but I want to have a standard that we're going to win, right? And so the expectation needs to be there that we're going to have a winning culture in Iowa. And like I said, I think we need to be patient with that process. We can't expect that to come to fruition right away. But if we take the right steps, I'm confident in watching the groups that I've worked with in the American League that will work. I think we have the right pieces there. I've got to know some of these young guys already this morning, talking with them around the room here. Just a tremendous group of people, and I couldn't be more excited to get going.
How important is winning to development, you think? I know it's hard at the level with you call-ups and injuries like that, but how important is that, you think, in seeing guys, prospects go?
It's huge, and that's really the focal point of the American Hockey League, right? And I think the American Hockey League is in place to develop players who can impact winning at the NHL level. for me, I don't look at it as, let's develop their skills and then they're NHL level players and, just throw them to the wolves. I think it's about communicating with the players, helping them understand their path to get to the NHL. And then, I think the development side of it always has to come back to how are we impacting winning, right? So the reason why we are doing the development is always to impact winning. And so that's why I want to have that expectation and that culture, that standard down there that we are going to impact winning, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, helping the Minnesota Wild win a Stanley Cup.
Did you always know in the back of your mind that coaching was something that you wanted to do even when you were on the ice?
Yeah, I did. It's one of those things that at the end of my playing career, I was a little beat up with just injuries and things like that. So I think it was kind of hard to see that, this kind of future. But as I dove into coaching at the University of Minnesota, working with Bob Motzko, I realized my passion for it pretty quickly. And then at that point, it was just let's dive right into this. And the journey has moved us around quite a bit. So as part of this, I would also like to thank my wife for being a rock star through every step of the journey. And she's been awesome. She's been a rock for me, and that stability has really helped us through this process too.
Springfield to Palm Springs to
I won't comment too much on the stops, but let's just say she's thrilled to be back in the Midwest.
Did you meet in San Diego?
We did.
Yeah. No place to surf in Des Moines, though, right?
No surfing in Des Moines. That's okay, though. We can stay focused on hockey.
They've had, I think 3 coaches in 4 years in Iowa. I know this is your first pro coaching job, but how much is it a focus of, building a program there and kind of doing something a little...
Yeah, and I've been transparent through this whole process about that. I want to build a winner in Iowa. It's something that I'm passionate about. I'm a competitive coach. So that's like I said, that's a goal of ours. I don't want to put too much undue pressure on the winning side of it. But like I said, I really trust that if we stick to our process, the wins will come.
Anything else for Stu?
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
The best place to go for all your Minnesota Wild audio needs is the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. Everything Minnesota Wild related, including highlights, press conferences, players, coaches, general managers, and more. It's available on the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. It's all just a click away at wild.com/podcast.